As time moves deeper into October, autumn is releasing more and more of its magic. I love being outdoors this time of year, watching the colors change from week to week. Baer is in love with the cooler weather, for he doesn't tolerate the heat well with his fluffy coat. I treasure these days before winter sets in, and I take any excuse I can for driving to the woods for a long, quiet walk. Last week, I began a training program to teach Baer how to be a service dog. Our trainer is so wonderful, and it's been exciting to see Baer making early progress. As an Aussie, he thrives on having a job and is naturally very in tune with me. He's learning how to alert my nighttime asthma attacks when I'm asleep, as well as how to calm my anxiety. I'm looking forward to seeing just how much he can learn, for he's already picking up on how to alert me to coughing and wheezing. Something I love about this time of year is that it's easier to find quiet outdoors. My cottage home is currently an apartment in the city, but there are plenty of natural spaces that have been preserved for enjoyment not too far from my home. However, in the summers, these places are often busy, and given my anxieties from being in crowds, I don't always get the refreshment I crave from simply being outdoors. But in autumn, it's a different story. Children are back in school, and more people are reserving their outdoor recreation for the weekends. Now, when I visit my favorite forests or nature walks during the week, chances are I will be one of a very small number of people. Sometimes I get lucky and have a whole trail all to myself, and I can simply enjoy the serenity and grace of a quiet walk, just me and Baer. I've found that quiet is becoming a luxury, or perhaps the better word is a scarcity. Luxury implies that quiet is not a necessity for human thriving, that it's merely a way to splurge a little of our time after all the work is done. But I think that enjoying silence is necessary for our mental and spiritual health. it's simply become harder to find in a world that has become deafeningly loud with media, notifications, and busyness. But silence allows our weary minds to come up for air. It allows us to have conversations within our own heads in which we can sift through the ideas that have become implanted there. Sometimes we have good ideas that deserve more attention, but other times we need to root out the toxic ideas that have become parasitic, almost without our realizing it. But only when the background noise is quieted can we begin to do that. I've found that times of silence are also necessary for my creativity. When my mind is frantically trying to keep up with endless input, anxiety begins to creep in and I enter a fight or flight state. When we're in survival mode, we don't have the bandwidth for creating. To draw upon the physical body for an analogy, one of the first systems in a woman's body to power down in times of stress is the reproductive system. We cannot create in a state of survival, and this is true in all manifestations of creating. But silence is a place of rest, and when I'm rested, I find that my creativity begins to flow once more. Because of this, I treat my daily walks with Baer in the quiet of nature as not just necessary for our physical health, but my emotional and creative health as well. If you're afraid of silence, it's likely that the noise is simply drowning out a problem that needs your attention. The answer to a fear of silence is not to avoid it, but to face the monsters that are waiting for you in that silence. Perhaps it is a fear of loneliness, or maybe it's a fear of being overwhelmed by the lying voices in your head that you don't know how to answer. Whatever is lurking in your silence, there is a grace for that, a beautiful truth that can shine a light where no other lights seem to reach. As the earth slows down and quiets in preparation for winter, perhaps you can begin to prepare the interior room of your heart for a season of much-needed quiet and rest. I know I need it more than ever, for it's been a challenging semester for me. Some of the ways I like to make my own mind a quiet haven is to turn to beauty. I put away my phone, I play my favorite instrumental music, I look at art that inspires me. I read stories that stir up my imagination with enchantment and holy things. I read poetic prayers, and I fill my home with calming aromas of candles and good food. These are some of my own little ways of preparing for a season of hibernation and quiet, and I'd love to know what things you do to enjoy silence and rest. I hope you have a lovely day or evening. I will see you next time. Bye.
Hey, Bear, look, one of these?